First contact. The UNSS Prometheus hung in the void like a metallic leviathan, its kilometer-long hull gleaming under the light of a distant star. Humanity's first Titan-class vessel represented the pinnacle of terrestrial engineering, a culmination of decades of innovation, sacrifice, and collective will. Its mission was simple in words but monumental in scope: push beyond the boundaries of explored space and establish humanity's presence among the stars. Captain Ilara Chen stood on the bridge, her dark eyes reflecting the holographic displays that surrounded her command station. After 15 years in the United Earth Space Force, she'd finally achieved what many considered impossible: command of humanity's most advanced vessel. The Prometheus wasn't just a ship, it was a statement to the cosmos that humans were no longer confined to their solar system. Navigation. Status report. Chen ordered, her voice steadied, despite the weight of responsibility pressing down on her shoulders. Lieutenant Commander Alvarez's fingers danced across his console. "We're approaching the edge of mapped space, Captain. Gravitational anomalies ahead match our theoretical models for the Cygnus corridor." Chief Science Officer Dr. Kaiden Takai approached the captain's station, excitement barely contained in his usually stoic demeanor. "Captain, our long-range sensors are detecting artificial structures orbiting the third planet in the system ahead. The energy signatures don't match any known human pattern." A hush fell over the bridge as the implications settled in. After centuries of searching, humanity had finally found evidence of another spacefaring civilization. "Sound General Quarters," Chen ordered after a moment of contemplation. "I want all departments at readiness level 2. This is what we've trained for." The Prometheus came alive with controlled urgency as crew members moved to their stations. In the tactical center, weapons systems were brought to standby. In the science labs, xenobiologists prepared first contact protocols that had been theoretical until this moment. Chen addressed the ship-wide communication system. "Attention all personnel. We have detected what appears to be an alien outpost ahead. This is not a drill. We are about to make first contact with an extraterrestrial civilization. Remember your training, trust your teammates, and represent humanity with dignity and courage." As the Prometheus approached the alien structures, the ship's advanced sensors revealed a complex of orbital platforms surrounding a barren, rocky world. The alien technology was elegant, all curved lines and materials that seemed to shift between solid and energy states. "Open all communication frequencies," Chen ordered. "Standard greeting package, all languages and mathematical bases." Communications Officer Lieutenant Harper nodded. "Transmitting now, Captain." Minutes passed in tense silence. The bridge crew remained professional, but Chen could feel their collective anxiety. First contact would define humanity's place in the cosmos for generations to come. "Captain, we're receiving a response," Harper announced suddenly. "It's structured. Definitely not random. The computer is analyzing patterns now." Before the AI systems could complete their analysis, the alien stations began to shift. What had appeared to be separate structures were merging, reconfiguring into what unmistakably resembled weapon platforms. "Defensive posture," Chen commanded. "Shields to maximum. Maintain position, but prepare for evasive maneuvers." The Prometheus's shield generators hummed to life, enveloping the massive ship in layers of energy barriers. Humanity's best defense against the unknown. Chief Tactical Officer Commander Rivera reported from his station. "Multiple energy spikes from the alien structures, Captain. They're powering up something big. Keep broadcasting our peaceful intentions." Chen ordered, even as she gestured for Rivera to prepare countermeasures. "Make it clear we mean no harm." The alien response came not in communication, but in action. A pulse of energy, unlike anything in human weapon catalogs, lanced out from the largest structure, striking the Prometheus's forward shields. The ship shuddered as the energy dissipated across the barrier. "Shields holding at 82%, Rivera reported. "That was just a warning shot, Captain. They could have hit us much harder." Chen's mind raced through possibilities. The aliens, whoever they were, possessed technology far beyond Earth's capabilities. A direct confrontation would be suicide. Tactical assessment, she demanded. Rivera's voice was grim. Their weapon systems outclass ours by at least 2 generations. Our shields won't withstand concentrated fire for more than a few minutes. Captain, Dr. Takai interrupted. I've been analyzing their energy signatures. There's something peculiar about their shield modulation. It's perfectly synchronized. Too perfect, actually. It suggests their systems operate on a singular computational paradigm. Chen raised an eyebrow. Meaning? Meaning they might lack the adaptability that characterizes human engineering. Our systems are messy by comparison, built on generations of different technologies patched together. That was when inspiration struck. Mr. Alvarez, plot a course that will take us through the debris field from that shattered moon. Commander Rivera, prepare a spread of our electromagnetic pulse mines. Old Earth technology, nothing fancy. Her officers exchanged confused glances, but moved to comply. Harper, keep broadcasting. But now add this message. We recognize your technological superiority and wish to learn from you. We apologize for any territorial transgression. As the Prometheus began to move toward the debris field, the alien structures fully transformed into a formation of sleek, predatory vessels. They were breathtaking in their design, organic shapes that seemed to flow rather than maneuver through space. The aliens, the bridge crew had begun calling them Voidari based on their movement patterns, launched another attack. This time, multiple energy beams struck the Prometheus simultaneously. Shields at 64%, Rivera reported. They're testing our defenses systematically. Maintain course, Chen ordered. When we reach the densest part of the debris field, execute a full emergency stop and deploy the EMP mines in a spherical pattern. The Voidari ships pursued with graceful precision, clearly confident in their superior technology. They moved in perfect formation, their attacks becoming more coordinated with each passing moment. When the Prometheus reached the heart of the debris field, Chen gave the order. Now. The massive human vessel came to an abrupt halt, a maneuver that would have been impossible for the more elegant alien ships to mimic without warning. As the Voidari vessels adjusted their approach, Rivera deployed the EMP mines. Shut down all non-essential systems, Chen commanded. Minimum power only. The Prometheus went dark just as the mines detonated. A wave of electromagnetic energy, crude but effective, washed over the battlefield. The Voidari ships, with their highly sophisticated integrated systems, suddenly faltered in their perfect formation. Their shields are fluctuating, Rivera reported with barely contained excitement. The EMP disrupted their synchronization. Power up weapons, Chen ordered. Target their propulsion systems only. I want to disable, not destroy. The Prometheus's weapon systems came online, and precisely targeted shots struck the temporarily vulnerable Voidari vessels. Not all hits were effective. Their technology was still superior, but enough damage was done to create chaos in their formation. They're retreating, Alvarez announced as the alien ships began to pull back toward their orbital platforms. Chen didn't allow herself to relax. Maintain battle stations. This isn't over. As if confirming her suspicion, a massive energy buildup was detected from the largest alien structure. Braced for impact, Chen shouted. The energy discharge that followed was unlike anything human science had documented. It wasn't directed at the Prometheus, but instead expanded outward in a spherical wave that engulfed everything within its radius. When it passed through the Titan-class vessel, every system went offline simultaneously. Emergency lights flickered, and for a terrifying moment, even life support faltered. In the darkness of the disabled bridge, Captain Chen looked out at the alien fleet regrouping in the distance. The first encounter between humanity and an extraterrestrial civilization had not gone as hoped. But they were still alive, and that counted for something. Damage report, she called out as backup systems slowly came online. The responses came from around the bridge, cataloging system failures throughout the massive ship. The Prometheus was wounded but not defeated. Begin repairs, Chen ordered, and analyze everything we've learned about their technology. If we're going to survive this encounter, we need to understand what we're facing. As the crew scrambled to restore the ship's functionality, Chen stared at the alien vessels on the view screen. First contact had become first conflict, but she was determined it wouldn't be humanity's last stand. They had always been at their best when pushed to the edge, and now they had a galaxy-sized challenge to overcome. The human response. 12 hours after the initial engagement with the Voidari, the UNSS Prometheus drifted in the shadow of a large asteroid, running on minimal power as repair crews worked feverishly throughout the vessel. The once pristine ship now bore the scars of battle: scorched hull plating, damaged sensor arrays, and jury-rigged systems that were barely functional. In the converted cargo bay that now served as an emergency command center, Captain Ilara Chen presided over a crisis meeting with her senior officers. The atmosphere was tense but focused. Fear had been processed and channeled into determination. The Voidari energy weapon completely bypassed our shields, Chief Engineer Commander Yoshida explained, pointing to a holographic model hovering above the conference table. It didn't destroy our systems. It reset them, forcing a complete reboot. It's like nothing we've ever encountered. Can we defend against it? Chen asked, her voice calm despite the severity of their situation. Yoshida exchanged glances with Dr. Takai before responding. Not directly, no. Their technology operates on principles we barely understand. An uncomfortable silence settled over the room until Lieutenant Kira Singh, a junior communications specialist, cleared her throat. Permission to speak freely, Captain. Chen nodded, intrigued by the young officer's temerity. What if we don't try to match their technology? What if we go deliberately primitive? Some officers scoffed, but Chen gestured for Singh to continue. The Voidari systems are integrated and synchronized. That's their strength, but it might also be their weakness. They've clearly evolved past the mechanical and into some form of techno-organic state. What if we use technology so basic it's beneath their notice? Dr. Takai's eyes widened with sudden understanding. Like how modern computers are vulnerable to attacks that ancient systems would be immune to, simply because they're too basic to be affected. Exactly, Singh confirmed. The EMP mines worked temporarily because they were crude by Voidari standards. What else do we have that's obsolete by cutting-edge metrics? Chen felt a spark of hope for the first time since the battle. Commander Yoshida, what about our museum piece? The chief engineer grimaced. The Thunderbolt. Captain, it's a prototype railgun from the early Space Force days. We brought it along as a historical artifact for the colonization exhibition. But it works. Chen pressed. Technically, yes. It's functional, completely mechanical, no AI targeting systems, minimal electronics. But it's hideously inefficient and has a fraction of the range of our standard weapons. Get it operational, Chen ordered. Dr. Takai, analyze everything we recorded about Voidari communication patterns. If they all think with one paradigm, I want to know what it is and how to disrupt it. Lieutenant Singh, help him. Your insight is valuable. As the meeting dispersed, Commander Rivera remained behind. Captain, even with unconventional tactics, we're outmatched. We should consider using the quantum communicator to warn Earth, even if it depletes our reserves. Chen shook her head. Not yet. If we fail here, Earth needs to know exactly what they're facing, not just that a threat exists. We gather intelligence first. Over the next 18 hours, the Prometheus transformed. Under Chen's direction, the crew implemented modifications that would have horrified their engineering instructors. They stripped advanced targeting computers, replacing them with manual systems. They'd reconfigured shield harmonics to cycle randomly rather than optimally. They even jury-rigged their communication array to broadcast on frequencies so obsolete they predated standardized space protocols. The antique railgun, the Thunderbolt, was mounted on a hastily constructed external platform. Without the original targeting systems, gunners would need to aim it manually using calculations and instinct rather than precision computers. Meanwhile, Dr. Takai and Lieutenant Singh made a breakthrough in understanding void area communication. They don't just communicate, they synchronize. Singh explained to Captain Chen. Their thought patterns align perfectly across their fleet. It makes them incredibly coordinated, but potentially vulnerable to disruption. We've modified our communication array to broadcast a signal that should create interference in their synchronization, Takai added. It won't stop them, but it might confuse them temporarily. Chen nodded, absorbing the information. How long do we have before they track us to this position? Rivera checked his tactical display. Their search pattern suggests they'll reach this sector within 3 hours. Then we don't wait, Chen decided. We take the fight to them. The plan was audacious to the point of insanity. The Prometheus would emerge from hiding, broadcasting the disruption signal while approaching the Void Area fleet. As soon as they were in range, they would fire the Thunderbolt railgun, not at the alien vessels, but at a specific point in space near their formation. Status report, Chen demanded as the Prometheus powered up its engines. All systems functioning at minimal capacity, Yoshida reported. We've rerouted power from non-essential areas to shields and propulsion. Disruption signal ready, Singh confirmed from her station. Thunderbolt primed and loaded, Rivera added. Manual targeting calculations complete. Chen took a deep breath. Begin approach. Broadcast the disruption signal on my mark. The Prometheus emerged from the asteroid field, its damaged hull gleaming under the light of the distant star. Immediately, the Void Area ships detected the human vessel and began to form their attack pattern. Mark, Chen ordered. The disruption signal, a chaotic broadcast based on human brainwave patterns during problem-solving, flooded the space between the ships. The effect on the Void Area was immediate and visible. Their perfect formation wavered as individual vessels momentarily fell out of sync with the collective. They're recovering quickly, Rivera warned. We have maybe 30 seconds of disruption. Bring us to firing position, Chen commanded. All power to forward shields for the moment of firing. The Prometheus surged forward, straining its damaged engines. The Void Area, recovering from the disruption, began to concentrate their fire on the human vessel. Shields flared as energy weapons struck the barrier. Shields at 42%, Rivera reported. We won't survive another coordinated attack. Fire the Thunderbolt, Chen ordered when they reached the calculated position. The ancient railgun roared to life, its mechanical systems clanking audibly throughout the ship. The projectile, a simple tungsten rod with no explosive or energy components, launched at a significant fraction of light speed toward a point in space that appeared empty. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, as the hypervelocity projectile reached its target, it struck an invisible field, a gravitational nexus that the Void Area used to coordinate their movements and energy distribution. The effect was catastrophic for the alien fleet. The disruption cascaded through their synchronized systems, causing power fluctuations and communication failures. Several smaller vessels went completely dark, while the larger ones struggled to maintain cohesion. It worked, Takai exclaimed. The gravitational distortion is amplifying our disruption signal. Chen didn't allow herself to celebrate. Target their flagship with conventional weapons. Aim for propulsion only. We want them disabled, not destroyed. The Prometheus's remaining functional weapon systems fired at the largest Void Area vessel. With their defensive synchronization compromised, the alien shields couldn't adapt quickly enough to block the relatively primitive projectiles. Direct hit on their main propulsion hub, Rivera confirmed. They're drifting. Chen opened a communication channel. Broadcast on all frequencies, using our original first contact package, but append this message. We did not initiate hostility, but will defend ourselves. We propose communication rather than conflict. For several tense minutes, there was no response from the damaged Void Area flagship. Then, a signal, different from any they had detected before, reached the Prometheus. Captain, Singh reported, her voice filled with wonder. "I think they're trying to communicate directly. This isn't a synchronized message from their collective. It's individual." The signal resolved into a visual transmission on the main view screen. The being that appeared was unlike anything humans had imagined. A luminous entity with features that seemed to shift between states of matter, neither fully solid nor energy. "We receive your communication," the translation matrix interpreted. "You are unexpected." Chen stepped forward. "I am Captain Ilara Chen of the United Earth vessel Prometheus. We came in peace and wish to return to peaceful dialogue." The voidary entity's form rippled. "Your species employs chaos, unpredictability. You function without synchronization, yet achieve coordination. This is new to us. We call it humanity," Chen replied simply. "Each of us is an individual, but together we form something greater than our parts." "Your primitive weapons should not have affected our systems," the entity stated, a note of what might have been respect entering its translated voice. "Yet you identified a vulnerability we did not recognize in ourselves." "Different perspectives offer different insights," Chen said. "Perhaps this is something we could teach each other about." The communication continued for hours as both sides tentatively established parameters for coexistence. The voidary, it emerged, had encountered many species before, but none that operated with humanity's particular blend of individual thought and collective action. Their perfectly synchronized civilization had never needed to innovate against chaos, which made human unpredictability both fascinating and threatening to them. 3 days later, as the Prometheus prepared to depart for Earth with the historic first contact records and a preliminary agreement with the voidary, Captain Chen stood alone in her ready room, composing her official report. In conclusion, she dictated, "Our encounter with the voidary has demonstrated that humanity's place in the cosmos may not be defined by our technological advancement, but by our unique cognitive approach. What alien civilizations may view as our primitive chaos, our disagreements, our individual perspectives, our messy problem-solving, may in fact be our greatest strength among the stars." She paused, looking out at the alien vessels now positioned in a non-threatening formation near the Prometheus. "We came seeking to prove humanity's readiness for the cosmos," she continued. "Instead, we discovered that our very humanity, with all its beautiful imperfections, may be what the cosmos has been waiting for." As the Prometheus set course for Earth, carrying news that would forever change human civilization, the stars seemed somehow brighter than before, illuminating not just space, but possibility.